Astrological forecast for November 3rd to 10, 2024. Planetary forces shape the Israel-Gaza conflict by Ambrosius Holloway. In this intense 7-day stretch, planetary alignments cast a powerful, unpredictable energy over the Israel-Gaza conflict. Mundane astrology reveals a complex web of stabilizing and disruptive forces, pulling at resources, alliances, and channels of communication. Each day brings a new turning point, with cosmic influences shifting the conflict's direction at breakneck speed. Here's a closer look at the major aspects and how they could steer this unfolding crisis. November 3rd, 2024. The world teeters on the brink as celestial forces pull invisible strings in a high-stakes game of power and survival. Sun in Scorpio, 11°03, in the second house, trine Saturn in Pisces in the sixth house. The sun blazes through Scorpio, casting a ruthless glow over the second house, the realm of resources, wealth, and foundations. But it's not alone. A powerful trine links it to Saturn, the master of discipline, deep in Pisces and overseeing the sixth house, where labor, service, and day-to-day systems grind on. This alignment brings a stabilizing force, hinting at a rare moment to fortify supplies and secure critical logistical networks. Tension simmers in the background, but the trine opens a fleeting window. Diplomatic forces move in shadowed halls, aiming to create controlled zones, secure pathways, or perhaps strike ceasefire deals. For a brief moment, order might prevail over chaos, as the second house whispers of material security and Saturn locks down operations, working against time to re-establish lines before the next storm. But this trine isn't just a momentary pause. It's an attempt to pull the world back from the edge. External allies, covert deals, temporary peace talks. Each player races to stabilize what little remains of control, hoping to keep resources and logistics intact before the storm breaks. Mars in Leo, 29°35, in the 11th house square, Pluto in Capricorn in the 8th house. Suddenly, the scene cuts to another house, the 11th, where alliances and social movements churn with restless energy. Mars, blazing red with the heat of conflict, stands firm in Leo, but a sinister tension crackles in the air as Pluto lurks in Capricorn's 8th house of secrets, shared resources, and deadly transformation. This Mars-Pluto square brings raw, explosive force, a deadly clash where Mars's aggression collides with Pluto's deep, transformative hunger for control. The stakes skyrocket as hidden agendas burst forth, old alliances fracture, and betrayals linger in every whispered conversation. Mars stirs up fervor in the 11th, sending rifts through alliances, while Pluto's pull in the 8th house reveals the ugly truths beneath. In the political theater, this aspect feels like a knife in the back. Alliances may crumble, and groups once united find themselves split by ambition and greed. Financial dependencies, territorial disputes, the desire for control, all flare to the surface. Mars, relentless and unyielding, provokes while Pluto unveils corruption, the strings of power laid bare for all to see. Expect volatility to spike. Power struggles intensify as leaders, generals, and diplomats scramble to outmaneuver each other. Territories, assets, and influence hang in the balance, with each side prepared to unleash chaos to come out on top. War drums beat louder, echoing a countdown to crisis as both planets lock in their deadly square, neither willing to yield. The world holds its breath as the narrative accelerates, twisting and turning, pushing both sides to a breaking point where every decision feels like the last chance to hold back total collapse. November 4th, 2024. Mercury in Sagittarius, 1°39. In the 3rd house, quincunx Uranus in Taurus in the 8th house. An unexpected shift looms as Mercury, the planet of communication and information, moves boldly through Sagittarius, pushing boundaries in the 3rd house, the realm of local affairs, media, and propaganda. The words are sharp, ideological, and relentless, aimed to sway opinions and rally support. But this is no smooth message. Mercury's path meets a rocky, unpredictable road, a quincunx with Uranus in Taurus, hidden in the shadows of the 8th house. Tension crackles between them, an unstable line of communication that could snap at any moment. As Mercury pushes its message, Uranus, the planet of shock and disruption, lies in wait. Its presence in the 8th house, stirring up secrets and resources tied to power. Suddenly, information leaks. A single sentence whispered. A document slipped into the wrong hands. The news hits like a bombshell, igniting the Israel-Gaza conflict with revelations that could reshape the battlefield. This isn't just information, it's a weapon. Eyes shift to hidden allies, covert backers, funds buried in shadow. The eighth house calls attention to the unseen, forces that quietly pull strings in the background. The effect is immediate. Both sides scramble, forced to recalibrate as whispers of betrayal and shifting allegiances ripple through the ranks. The quincunx aspect keeps the outcome uncertain. Allies may turn, resources could dry up. Unease spreads as leaders realize their strategies might be obsolete, their alliances less trustworthy. The once solid ground shifts beneath them, leaving only two choices: adapt or be outmaneuvered. A new reality unfolds, one where every word, every leaked fact reshapes the game. The quincunx has no resolution, just relentless friction and a ticking clock, as both sides race to decipher the signals before they're swept away in a torrent of change. November 5th, 2024. Mars entering Leo, 0°16, in the 11th house square Uranus and Taurus in the 8th house. Mars storms into Leo, crackling with intensity as it takes its place in the 11th house, the domain of alliances, groups, and movements. Mars burns with a need for bold action, seeking power and dominance. But this is no ordinary entrance. Waiting in the shadows of the 8th house is Uranus, unpredictable and explosive, ready to turn the tables from its hidden post in Taurus. A tense square locks the two in a dangerous dance, a powder keg of disruption. The stakes have never been higher. In mundane astrology, Mars-Uranus aspects like these are notorious for sudden upheavals and rebellion, and the signs are there. Alliances fraying, deep-seated resentments bubbling up, secret deals teetering on collapse. The 11th and 8th houses hint at the conflict's underbelly, financial dependencies and power plays that could erupt at any moment. Mars charges forward, pushing to assert dominance, but Uranus holds the trump card, suggesting that hidden agendas could destabilize even the most calculated strategies. Tension mounts. The square triggers an explosive unpredictability, escalating the conflict as alliances fracture. Some groups defying orders, others taking matters into their own hands. Suddenly, a faction breaks rank, seizing the moment to act in defiance. Leaders scramble as control slips through their fingers. Mars's fierce energy meets Uranus's defiant rebellion, sparking a wildfire that could sweep through alliances and upend power dynamics entirely. The air crackles with suspense. All sides brace themselves, knowing that a single impulsive act could ignite chaos on an unimaginable scale. In the heart of this storm, loyalties will be tested, alliances redefined, and the battle lines redrawn in an instant. The stage is set for a dramatic escalation, and no one knows who will survive the fallout. November 6, 2024. Sun in Scorpio, 14°03, conjunct natal Mars in Scorpio in the 2nd house. The Sun aligns with Mars in the depths of Scorpio, igniting a fierce, unyielding energy. The battleground? The 2nd house, the realm of resources, finances, and survival. Under this powerful conjunction, Scorpio's relentless drive sharpens, focused on one goal: control. This isn't just about strategy, it's about seizing vital assets, securing ground, staking claims. In mundane astrology, the Sun-Mars conjunction is a catalyst, a spark that can turn a simmering conflict into a full-blown blaze. The 2nd house intensifies the stakes, pulling the focus to physical security, economic power, and material resources. And with Scorpio's energy, there's no room for compromise. Each side sees the other as a threat, as this aspect fuels a fight-or-die mentality. Every decision, every move, feels like the last line of defense. This is the moment when the rules change. Lines are crossed as both sides escalate, each determined to gain an advantage. Military advances, bold confrontations, and aggressive posturing take center stage. This Sun-Mars conjunction serves as a rallying cry for action, a point of no return where alliances tighten and tensions rise, a relentless push for control over critical territories and assets. The drums of war beat louder, signaling a climax. With each side ready to risk it all, the battle intensifies and the focus narrows. For both, it's about survival, and the stakes have never been higher. November 7th, 2024. Venus in Sagittarius, 5°42, in the 3rd house sextile natal Jupiter in Leo in the 11th house. As Venus enters Sagittarius, a wave of optimism surges through the 3rd house, the hub of communication and media. Venus meets Jupiter in Leo, forming a rare and fleeting alliance that shines a spotlight on diplomacy. The message is clear: This is a moment for words, not weapons. The third house pulls the focus to harmonious communication. Venus, now wielding the power of connection, stirs leaders and diplomats to seize this chance, reaching across battle lines, using media channels, and extending olive branches. In the 11th house, Jupiter amplifies the call, rallying allies and supporters who are ready to back these efforts. It's a rare alignment where voices unite, seeking to ease tensions and foster peace. But time is short. This aspect doesn't promise a permanent fix. It's a window, narrow and fragile. Leaders scramble to push for negotiations, to make a stand for diplomacy while they can. Allies and international bodies listen closely, weighing their next move, knowing this moment may be the only break in the storm. Across the globe, media broadcasts light up. Messages of hope flash through screens, and the world holds its breath. Will these diplomatic efforts take root, or will they vanish as quickly as they came? As the alignment fades, the question lingers. Can peace find a foothold before the tide turns again? November 8th, 2024. Mars in Leo, 1 degree 15. In the 11th house. Trininatal Pluto in Sagittarius in the 9th house. Mars blazes through Leo, locked into a powerful trine with Pluto in the 9th house, where ideology and international influence collide. This alignment isn't about chaos, it's about controlled, calculated power. Mars's assertive energy flows seamlessly into Pluto's transformative might, setting the stage for a high-stakes maneuver that ripples far beyond borders. The 11th house pulses with collective action. This isn't a lone mission. It's a united front, a movement driven by purpose. Mars, with Leo's flair for the dramatic, stirs alliances into action, every step deliberate and calculated. Across the 9th house, Pluto waits, poised to extend the reach of these efforts, turning ideology into a force that could sway entire nations. Together, they fuel a movement bound by belief, ready to reshape global perceptions. In mundane astrology, a Mars-Pluto trine signifies disciplined power, the kind of intensity that shifts landscapes. Leaders gather behind closed doors, eyes fixed on maps, voices hushed as plans are whispered, each one aimed at strengthening their ideological footing. Mars's influence rallies support, Pluto's vision directs it outward, a focused campaign designed to influence, control, and command. As the trine holds, an eerie calm blankets the scene. Actions align, purpose sharpens. This isn't a reckless assault. It's a meticulously planned show of power, aimed at cementing alliances and sending a message that stretches across borders. The question now isn't just what they'll do next, but how far their influence will reach, and who, if anyone, can stop it. November 9th, 2024. Moon in Aquarius in the 4th house opposes the Sun in Scorpio in the 10th house, approaching full moon. As the full moon edges closer, tension ignites along a powerful line, the axis between homeland and authority, between the people and those who lead them. The moon rises in Aquarius, settled in the 4th house where domestic affairs and national sentiment pulse with energy. Across from it, the sun stands firm in Scorpio, high in the 10th house where power, image, and reputation come into focus. This is no ordinary opposition. It's a clash that pits the voice of the people against the agenda of authority. The tension builds like the calm before a storm. With each passing hour, emotions surge, reaching a fever pitch as public sentiment strains against the decisions made behind closed doors. In mundane astrology, the 4-10 the house axis is the battleground between internal stability and the drive for influence abroad. And tonight, this conflict simmers on the edge of explosion. The full moon sheds a harsh light on hidden divides. Crowds gather, voices rise, each one demanding answers. People want security, peace, a return to safety. But leadership has its sights set on a broader stage, on power plays that could shift alliances and alter reputations. It's a line neither side is willing to cross, and the stakes have never been higher. This is the turning point. Under the glow of the full moon, homeland concerns push against the international agenda, intensifying calls for change. The question lingers. Will leadership yield to the voices of the people, or will it press forward, risking public outcry to secure its place on the global stage? With the world watching, this clash could reshape everything. November 10th, 2024. Full moon in Taurus, 17 degrees 04, in the 8th house conjunct natal Uranus in Taurus. Under the full glow of the moon in Taurus, the 8th house trembles, a place where secrets, shared resources, and alliances lie buried deep. Tonight, it aligns with Uranus, the planet of disruption, poised to ignite transformation. The stakes? Everything that holds power. Financial dependencies, resource control, and alliances built on fragile ties. As the full moon rises, its light cuts through the darkness, exposing the 8th house's hidden forces. Uranus is waiting, unpredictable, electric. The effect is instant, a jolt of upheaval that no one saw coming. Rumors spread of shifting alliances, a financial crisis, or a betrayal that sends shockwaves through the Israel-Gaza conflict. The full moon's energy pushes events to a breaking point, where deals fracture and power hangs in the balance. In mundane astrology, full moons bring climaxes. And with Uranus, the climax is explosive, shattering old structures and rewriting alliances. Resources may shift hands overnight, a financial base dissolves, and control over vital territories teeters on the edge. As power dynamics shake, hidden agendas are laid bare, alliances reformed or discarded with lightning speed. The region watches in suspense. Leaders brace for impact, sensing that this is a point of no return. The potential for crisis and transformation feels inevitable. Under the full moon's unflinching gaze, the 8th house reveals a brutal truth. Nothing here is stable, and the only way forward is through the chaos. Conclusion. A week on the edge. November 3rd to November 10th, 2024. A week unfolds like a relentless thriller in the Israel-Gaza conflict, with celestial forces pulling the strings on a tense, high-stakes battlefield. The themes are stark: control, alliances, ideology, and the ever-present threat of escalation. Resource control and economic security. The Sun and Mars in Scorpio, positioned in the 2nd house, bring a fierce focus on economic security and resource control. But it's the full moon in Taurus, shadowed by disruptive Uranus in the 8th house, that signals the potential for explosive changes. Aggressive moves to claim resources are in play, each side vying to seize and secure assets in a game where every gain is precarious, every loss amplified. Alliances and group dynamics. Mars in Leo stirs up the 11th house, where alliances are forged and fractured. Pluto's relentless power and Uranus's unpredictability add a volatile edge. Expect factions to shift allegiance without warning, a flash betrayal or a sudden show of support changing the tide in an instant. It's a week where no partnership is stable, and every alliance feels like a ticking bomb. Ideological and diplomatic efforts. A fleeting chance for peace appears under the Venus-Jupiter sextile and the Mars-Pluto trine. Here, diplomacy holds its breath, waiting for a chance to reshape the narrative, to sway public opinion, to forge a temporary ceasefire. Yet these moments are brief, a spark in the dark, and as quickly as they come, they're gone, leaving the conflict more intense, the stakes higher than ever. Overall, this week is a whirlwind of power moves and shifting loyalties. Every decision, every alliance, every maneuver ripples out, reshaping the landscape of conflict in ways neither side can predict. The battle lines are drawn with fierce precision, fueled by a ruthless pursuit of resources, unsteady alliances, and ideological fervor. The outcome? A conflict teetering on the edge, poised for transformation or collapse, as each day unfolds with the urgency of a final act. As the week unfolds, every planetary move twists the conflict's fate. Resource struggles, fractured alliances, and fleeting peace efforts paint a high-stakes landscape where each decision reshapes the future. The stars have set the stage, but the final act is yet to be played.